Hello, learning coaches. The purpose of this video is providing you information to help feel prepared and organized for this school year. I've got several quotes that come from different learning coaches in our community, and they offer some really good advice. I'll just summarize some of their tips, but please feel free to pause the presentation and read the full remarks. So first things first, K12 boxes arrive at your house. I know for us that was everything became a lot more real when that moment happened. Some things to be aware of, your K-5 students, they receive a lot of boxes. There's a lot more physical books to support time away from the computer. For our middle school and our high school students, you will access a lot more resources digitally, and because of this, you'll receive fewer physical supplies. But every single item that you receive from K-12, those are vital parts to your students' learning. So go ahead, open up those boxes and start going through everything. Every box is going to have a checklist with resources to confirm what's in that box. Go through those, make sure that everything is accounted for and you've received everything on your list. Here's some learning coach advice when you're unpacking all of your resources. They really recommend going through these with your student, and you can use this to kind of navigate how they are feeling about certain subjects, figure out which ones they're most excited about, subjects that they really don't feel confident with, and just kind of use it as a time to really bond and get on board as a team with schooling. Now, you get the boxes unpacked. What are you going to do with all these empty boxes? Well, some learning coaches, they break them down and just store them in the attic or under a bed, while some are just going to recycle them and then plan to get new boxes from like a local store when it comes time to return their resources. As you start to set up your learning space, some things to keep in mind is that really the atmosphere you create in your home is just as important as the curriculum that you're using. Find a space that supports a routine, an environment that is going to be simple and have distractions that are out of the way. A space that your student knows that they go here to zone in and start on schoolwork. Some responses from learning coaches. Some people, they actually have a room in their house that's designated for school. Some, they just have a specific zone where they keep all their supplies, but they have a limited space, so they have to make adjustments for where their student is working or having flexibility with it. This actually is an image from a learning coach they provided of how they have their space set up. If you need extra ideas, always reach out to others and kind of scheme about what's going to work for you. Something that I definitely heard learning coaches share, though, is that flexibility is going to end up being a big important part of where your student is learning. Realizing that sometimes they're going to need to work outside, or they might need to just switch things up to keep it fresh and exciting. Here are some other images that learning coaches shared for kind of organizing their materials. They recommended using shelves, storage tubs, different things to keep all the resources together. Most resources are going to be for the entire year. You'll receive it all in one big shipment. And for the K-5 students, this is going to include the student books, also the teaching resources for the learning coach. You'll also notice that some materials will be for the first semester and other materials will be for the second semester, for December through the end of the school year. Some different ideas for saving space is lumping all of that second semester and the learning coach guides in kind of an out-of-the-way place that you can just access as needed. Or if you're really limited on room, you can rearrange the materials just in the boxes and coordinate it with a first semester or a second semester, or by group or by class. So since one of the major roles and responsibilities of learning coaches is helping their students stay on track and organized with school, a great way to do this is by using a planner or a calendar or a whiteboard, some form of physical writing down what is supposed to be happening each week. We've got great advice from Learning Coach here about how they track everything. And you can take this advice, or if you have other ideas on the best way to stay organized, just run with it. And I know organization is one of those things that some days it works out better than others, but you just kind of keep on coming back to it. So keep on trying new things and see what works best for you. This picture on this page is actually from one of our learning coaches, is the planner that they use to track their students' events and just manage all the class times. Take a minute if you'd like to read this feedback that also I was able to get from learning coaches. She's got some really good ideas on how to manage her time. Now, what is online school without a computer and internet? We'll just go ahead and discuss that real quick before we wrap up this video. Important things: you must have these programs to be able to complete work online and attend live classes. Is Office 360. That is available for free download to our students. Blackboard Collaborate, that's the program that we use for our live class sessions. An Adobe Flash Player. All of these items are available for you to be able to get the information for these resources at www.help.k12.com. Also, this is a good place that if you have materials that you are waiting for them to be shipped, help.k12.com, you can use that to track if your materials have been shipped yet. So while you're setting up your learning space, this is a really good time to talk with your student about internet expectations and internet safety. I pulled out a few things that just I think would be helpful for you to consider. The computer place, it's a really good idea to have the monitor visible in the room so that you are always easily able to see what sites your child is visiting. And establishing rules, what sites they can visit, what sites they shouldn't visit. This is a good time to bookmark different sites that your child is going to visit throughout the year. Certain sites that as soon as you're introduced to them or given these different websites or passwords, just go ahead and mark those. There will be sites that will include USA Test Prep, iReady, different ones that will be sent out by your teacher, and you'll get more resources through email about these different resources. Something to be aware of is that sometimes parental blocks that you put on your computer might actually not keep, they might actually keep content that teachers provide from working. This is a good time too to teach your child not to open email attachments from anyone they don't know. And if they have something that makes them feel uncomfortable or that was unexpected happen, go ahead and shut it off and let you know. Remind them that we want to protect our personal information, and so we don't share things that are private. And also that students aren't supposed to meet face-to-face with persons, that they meet online unless they have your permission and they are accompanied by you to that meeting. And with that, we'll go ahead and conclude this video of setting up your learning space and unpacking your boxes. If you have other questions or you would like more information on specific things, please reach out to your community family advisor, or you are welcome to ask questions on our Learning Coach Connections Facebook page. And thank you so much.